Good day, my name's Todd Standing. This is my Sasquatch Sunday show. I am the man who takes people out into the field and has them either live interact with or eyewitness a Sasquatch. This is part 2 of a very incredible journey I've been on that's turned into an amazing life experience that has really given me absolute focus and clarity as to where I stand specifically on to kill or not to kill a Sasquatch. So we're going to go through exactly what's happened this week. Last week I left things kind of in a blur because, as I always do, in any negotiation, it's a negotiation. Especially you negotiate with your enemies, your people that are your cons, people that are versus you. It was a wonderful journey I went on, and I want to make it very, very, very clear. The first thing about this show is Todd Standing is never going to do anything other than verse people that think they're going to go out and kill a Sasquatch. I have been presented with the best plan I've ever seen to kill a Sasquatch based on my knowledge and my information and my research that's public. And as of this week, I'm versing those people. Those people are going to lose their attempt to harm a Sasquatch, and me and my cooperation and my people are going to be the ones to ensure that these men do not harm a Sasquatch. So it's Todd Standing versus the plan to kill Sasquatch versus it. So on this journey, again, I want to make it very clear because people were confused last week, and I want to make it very, very clear. I am 100% no kill. I have to be 100% no kill. And last week, I was very concerned about their plan. We're talking the elite military U.S. experts came in, devised a plan, top equipment in the world, and using this equipment, using this plan based on my information, what I've been teaching publicly about Sasquatch. And I've made it very clear that I'm versing them. I haven't made all my information about Sasquatch public. I keep a lot of things on the lowdown, and I am going to foil it. I'm going to make sure these people have absolutely no success whatsoever on every level. So Todd Standing and his cooperation are going to ensure these people utterly, completely fail. And that's what this show is about today, so stay tuned, we're going to get into that. The masters of civilization, my people, sure could learn a lot from the masters of the wilderness, which is who they are.
There's no way that you got sight of a Sasquatch in those areas with those tree breaks, with those tracks, getting those apples taken, with those sounds, all these things.
So let's get into some details here. So firsthand, what I did last week, I know they're going to watch this video. They don't need to watch this video. I've had clear conversations with them. They're very clear about what I'm doing and how I'm going to do things. So last week I was in negotiations, and what I did was I adhered to an old technique. You might have heard this: keep your friends close and keep your enemies even closer. I got real close to these guys. They showed me everything. They showed me locations, designs, talked to me about everything. Again, because this was a lot, in fact, almost entirely based on my knowledge and what they'd learned about Sasquatch from me. So what they don't know, and what I'm going to tell you right now, is the majority of things I know, the higher level things I know about Sasquatch, I don't share publicly. A tremendous amount, and people that are followers of mine that have been sticking around for a long time, they've seen tidbits and pieces that I'm going to go through today that'll even show you further why you just can't take this species on. And remember who I am. I've been trained by John Bennernagle, wildlife biologist, PhD, Jeff Meldrum, professor of anatomy and anthropology of Idaho State University, and the great, amazing Survivor Man, as well as a dozen other people I can't name that don't go public, besides the fact that I started out with the First Nations people of Canada and Native Americans of the United States now that have been training me for over a decades actually. I'm almost into my second decade of native tracking skills. Not just, and remember, native tracking isn't following tracks. That's very one-dimensional. Native tracking is listening, feeling, knowing what's going to happen, knowing how the wind's going to change, knowing how the animals think, feeling your way through. In fact, I would say people that track following tracks are not even one-dimensional. Like, I'm in 4-dimensional tracking mode when I practice, when I teach, when I show my expeditioners what's going on. And if you're just following tracks, you're literally one-dimensional. And that's why one-dimensional trackers, not even one-dimensional trackers, fail so dramatically. So, and I got very passionate about this group of people that are going to go kill a Sasquatch, because again, they're using my knowledge, they're using what I've made public. So I came to the conclusion, after talking with my colleagues and opening my mind to every possibility, is that I have a responsibility now to use my knowledge to protect them, because this is absolute folly. They're not going to succeed. They actually had a snowball's chance in hell. I don't even know what I was thinking last week when I initially thought they had a good chance of success. With all I know, like there are 2 things about Sasquatch that I'm not ever going to discuss publicly. I only talk about it with my expeditioners, and these 2 things make them pretty much actually absolutely impossible to hunt and kill. Impossible. You're not dealing with a deer or an elk or a bear. You're dealing with a being that has exceptional knowledge and skills that go way beyond what you can see, smell, taste, and feel. We're talking extrasensory perceptions. And this stuff has been human beings, my species, have been just learning about this stuff. And when you talk about a good example of something you need to look into is, and not for the harming of Sasquatch, but to learn and study them, is the movie called Third Eye Spies. So since 1975, it's been public. The remote viewing is very, very real. You need to watch this show. You need to watch this movie. I'm going to go and show a little segment right now talking about Third Eye Spies. This is something the Sasquatch have always done. They've been doing it. They're born to do this. They're raised doing this. They remote view. They tap into things. So watch this little sequence just to give you a taste of what even the American government's been doing. The CIA's been doing. My God, FBI. Like this is a huge deal, and human beings are in their infancy when it comes to this third eye spy, this remote viewing, this psychic ability. It's something that's very real. And if you aren't in tune with this, if you are still on the fence about this existing in reality, you're walking around the world's flat and we're all saying it's round, man, because I'm talking all universities, all psychology departments in the world accept extrasensory perception as an absolute 100% reality. And when you're coming in, you're dealing with Sasquatch, you're dealing with a species that has evolved through wildness, through survival of the fittest, through things that we can't even begin to understand, the connectivity they have. And extrasensory perception is immensely enhanced in nature. When you're around magnetic fields like I am right now, when you're in society with these electromagnetic fields all over the place with metal and walls, and we're disconnected from nature, your extrasensory perception is crap. It goes down. We're not touching the ground anymore with our feet. We use shoes. We don't think the trees are wonderful, incredible living beings that matter, and we're starting to learn about that stuff. There's a documentary on Netflix called about amazing fungi, about how trees communicate through mushrooms and fungus now. And this stuff is very real, guys. And the Sasquatch have known about this and have been studying and doing this for thousands of years. They're light years ahead of us. So, and when you have extrasensory perceptions like this, even, again, there's stuff I'm not going to talk about today that goes way beyond what I can get into, what I teach my expeditioners, what I'm in my infancy learning about. You can't verse this species. So watch this little segment. We'll be right back.
Psychic spies, Cold War whimsy, or secret weapon. Some people may have certain psychic powers. This may reassure you, it may alarm you, but in fact, for some years now, the U.S. intelligence community has wagered a modest amount of money on the possibility that such powers do exist. Such powers do exist. But the most enduring experiments have been in the field of remote viewing. We got into it when we discovered that they were in it.
We found that many individuals are able to accurately describe what's going on in distant locations, blocked from any kind of ordinary perception.
Are you saying that the work you've been doing is classified?
I really can't talk about matters of classification, as you can imagine.
My name is Russell Targ, and I'm a physicist.
So there's that, the third eye spies, remote viewing, that reality. This is what I'm practicing. I have expeditioners that have been doing this stuff. So I want to talk about two things real quick. So this is a big reveal. Even for my expeditioners, you guys need to know this. So the experiment's done. I've been doing this for 3 years now. What's happened is expeditioners that come out on expedition with me continuously or once in a while have a dream. It's a very specific dream, and I'm going to talk about it for the first time ever because I've got 8 expeditioners out of 23 that have had this dream that have come out on expedition with me. And this is so important because what happens is in this dream I've had it. Except it was a little different the way I had it, but this is the way the dream goes. So these people come on an expedition with me, and they go to sleep at night, and they have a dream that a Sasquatch is around them and blocking them and stopping them. So they're in the bush, and they're trying to get. And what's happening is there's a fire off in the distance, and I'm at the fire, and they're trying to get out to follow the fire. So they're dreaming, they see the fire, and they're trying to get over to where the fire is in an open area, and the Sasquatch is blocking them, won't get there. And so what happens is the expeditioners, so the Sasquatch starts showing me off in the distance past the fire. And so they see me and they yell my name, and this is how they wake up in the dream, is they yell up going, Todd, Todd, Todd. So, and what happens is as soon as they embrace that Todd's their guide, Todd's their leader, and say Todd, the Sasquatch moves away and they move towards the fire and come towards the fire, and I'm there. So that's the dream that they've been having. What I do is I write it in an envelope about the dream, and when they wake up, I give them a sealed closed envelope, and they open it and go, oh my God, that's exactly what happened. So this is not a coincidence. And what this is trying to teach is, if you're coming on an expedition with me, I'm the guide, I'm the leader, follow my lead because I'm trained by Sasquatch. I'm the vessel for them to learn through. I will create that continuity for my students or my expeditioners to learn about nature the way the Sasquatch have taught me. And when you embrace that, those expeditioners, every single one that's had that dream has had a Sasquatch sighting. A Sasquatch has walked out on them. So very, very special people. And that experiment, I haven't been talking about that. Even in my expeditioners, I haven't been telling them about it because I just wanted to conduct this experiment. We've had tremendous success with it. It's very real. And the other thing I wanted to talk about too, to help you again understand how they can literally project into you. I've mentioned this a few times before. So when I was out getting my first Sasquatch videos ever, video 2 and 3, here they are, have a look at them. It's one where a Sasquatch stands up and sits down, and then the video where the Sasquatch runs faster than the fastest human being in the world can run, and this Sasquatch is 9 feet tall. So incredible, amazing evidence. But between those two videos, what people don't know is I spent the night out in a tent, and this is what happened. Listen very carefully. So I'm sleeping, and that night there was no moon and perfect dark cloud cover. So it was so dark, I literally couldn't tell if my eyes were open or closed. I remember laying there, waking up, feeling a Sasquatch moving towards me, and literally being able to see like the terrain and the tent from the outside. I could even see our tent was blue. I could see the color of our tent. So again, I'm trying to open and close my eyes. I don't understand what the hell is going on because I see motion towards the tent, and I also felt curiosity that wasn't mine. So I'm seeing something that's not mine. I'm feeling an emotion that's not mine. Do you understand how significant that is? And then I see it approach the tent, and I see a hand, the back of the hand. I see the back of the hand, like I'm looking at my hand, reach out for the tent, and then the hand touches the tent and scratches it. And that's when, so I'm in between my two people that I was with at the time. So Trevor and Michael were on each side of me. I was between them, and I literally elbowed those two guys because I knew when I could hear something. So I was feeling the emotion of curiosity. I really wanted to touch that tent. It was a cool thing. That's what the Sasquatch was feeling. But when I heard the sound in my ears, that was my sound. And I realized I was seeing something and feeling his emotions, but hearing him touching the tent. And I could literally hear exactly what I was seeing. So I kicked those 2 jerks. We woke up. A whole bunch of amazing other significant things happened during that night. But I just wanted to talk about when you're dealing with a Sasquatch, you're dealing with beings that have not only the ability to perceive what you're thinking, but to literally project things into your head. Do you understand how powerful that is? These guys have dropped me from infrasound. I'm actually not even sure that, because when you're hit with infrasound, you get really dizzy because it affects your inner ear. I think there have been times they literally dropped me just from overwhelming my mind. Just putting too much information in my head, and I just fall down and I'm incapacitated because they can overpower your mind like that. And that's what these guys want to take on. They're going to try to take on a being like that. Like, forget about it. So, yeah, and I think it's absolutely within my rights. I just want to make sure I got on my notes here that I got so there's 2 advantages I'm not going to talk about. And yeah, I wanted to make it very clear that because this is I don't even know where. Now, this is the next question, is where do I go with these guys? I'm literally sending expeditioners and going out on an expedition myself to make sure I'm damn well out there during the time. They've given me the time, the location, I know everything. And I make no apologies for it. I'm versing these dudes like we're going head to head. And if they want to make peace with me, they're going to have to come out of this kill mode and go into full-on research mode, exploration mode, get this kill thought out of their head. But in the meantime, I'm sending expeditioners up there. I'm going up there during the time they want to harm them. I'm doing 20 other things to make sure that these people have absolutely no success whatsoever of harming this troop of Sasquatch. This is not a troop of Sasquatch I've ever seen before, and there's actually a lot going on with me. Even I'm doing some remote feelings with them, and I'm getting some powerful stuff happening back. And this, again, you can't look at me and go, oh, that's weird paranormal. It's not. You saw that segment from Third Eye Spies. Watch that movie. This stuff is very real. I've seen expeditioners do things and communicate and have incredible, that's why the majority of people, especially scientists, are not having any success with this discovery, because they're not embracing this brand new, it's like brand new technology, but it's not technology, it's brand new knowledge that we have extrasensory perception and love and fear and emotions and physical connectivity to the earth and to the land. All these things matter so immensely, and they don't get it. They're trying to quantify it and use a graph and analyze it. It's not that crap doesn't work with Sasquatch. They are way, way above that. So it's really, this discovery is really become, isn't it now more spiritual than anything? Hasn't it come down to the most important thing about this discovery is the spiritual aspect of it? And that's so important. So that's all I wanted to talk about today. In the comments below, we make peace with our enemies, not with our friends. I want to make peace with these guys because they do have the ability to help make this discovery move forward. So what can I offer them? That's the next question, because the versus is on. They want to verse me, they're done. They better go find a new area, and I'm going to come after them. I'm going to get these guys. I'm never going to allow them to harm a Sasquatch. In fact, I went on this journey. I knew I had to go down this road once, and if we verse them, if we try to kill them, we're going to severely damage the discovery of this species, and that's what I'm about. My movie is called Discovering Bigfoot, and I am all about making this discovery happen. And there is only one way. There is no kill a Sasquatch. I have any participation in harming a Sasquatch in any way, it's gonna destroy everything I've ever worked for. Even it'll destroy me as a human being. You can't do it. You can't go. You can't. And this was my last journey in there. Please accept my apologies if you were confused about me potentially wanting to harm one. It's just a matter of me keeping an open mind to new information. You gotta do that. You can't just say, this is wrong and that's wrong. Because I do admire hunters. I've learned so much from hunters. I am a hunter. I harvest deer, I harvest elk, I eat that wild game. I admire wolves. Wolves kill and survive off of deer and elk and bears and mountain lions. They're hunters. I mean, this is the natural part of our ecology. But this is not, I'm not much, trophy hunting is what it is. It's controversial. I'm not going to tackle that subject together. There's a good place for it, but it's a confusing thing for me. But I'm not going to get into that today. I just wanted to really make sure everybody vividly understands. I took the journey. I was honest. I looked at it from both perspectives. And for the rest of my life, I'm absolutely, it's preposterous to try to kill one. I've been trying to say that for years. And I'm at a level of understanding this discovery right now where it's ridiculous. It's foolish. It's silly. It's damaging. It's going to harm the relationship between human beings and Sasquatch. And going out and killing one crew of Sasquatch, all the Sasquatch are going to know. It's going to damage everybody's relationship. It's very, very, very toxic and very, very bad. And and make sure, I want to make this also extremely clear. There's a lot I don't talk about. I've given a significant amount of information here with Third Eye Spies, getting into my head. Never, ever have I talked about the dream that people have been having. There it is. It's all out. It's public. All my expeditioners can know. The experiment is over. And make it vividly clear in your head. They have two other tremendously important advantages. Two that are completely unrelated to remote viewing. Completely. Two. And I've talked about it with a lot of my expeditioners. I've shown it to a lot of my expeditioners. This enormous advantage is something my son has, this gift, and he's working on it every week. He works on it. He shows me about it. He tells me, I'm trying to mentor him about this incredible gift that the Sasquatch has that makes him really, really, I don't like to use the word invincible, but it makes them invincible. I've seen human beings do it, and it's a gift that human beings have the capacity to do, at least one of these two gifts, and it makes Sasquatch literally untouchable. Totally, totally untouchable. I was a fool talking to my expeditioners that know about it. I was a fool to ever think that anybody could harm or shoot one of these beings, even with all the technology and all the advances we have. Because of these two other gifts, they'll smoke you, they'll kick your ass, you're done. And I feel like too, to the people, to the amazing people, because these dudes are amazing, that had this incredible hunt designed to kill a Sasquatch, I just saved your lives. If you would have ever gotten a shot off, which I don't think you did, I think you were pretty much wasting your time. If you would have got a shot off and you would have harmed one, you'd have taken your last breath. They would have smoked you on the ground. You didn't have a prayer of coming back with a body. You were going to experience loss of life, and you would have failed. Literally, I know that you're pissed off, and I make no apologies for it because I just did you a huge favor. You're wasting time, money, resources, and you're done. I've smoked you. You know what's going to happen. I'm going to have expeditioners out there. I'm going to be out there. I'm going to make sure on every level, I'm going to do 20 things to make sure that you fail in every single way. Up, down, left, right, 360 degrees. You are done. You are never going to harm a Sasquatch. I will make absolutely sure of it. And you're welcome, is what I have to say about that. So that's my Sasquatch Sunday video for today. I hope that makes it very clear on my position on to kill a Sasquatch. So I have my Throwback Thursday coming up. I'm live Wednesday. And the next topic I would like to talk about on my live Wednesday show is, what can we do? How can we bury the hatchet with these guys so they could come out and help the discovery process move forward and get past this preposterous idea to go and kill a Sasquatch? Thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you on Wednesday.